Pamela Deason, the marketing manager for our DevOps products. Today we have with us a group of people who will be presenting and doing a demo for you. Overall, it's going to be led by Abhijit Magali, who is the product manager for Test Data Manager. I do want to, before we get started, just let everyone know that you are hard muted during the presentation. You can always type your questions into the panel. At the end, we'll save time to answer the questions, and you can come off mute at the end if you prefer to ask your questions verbally. We'll do that as well. And then two more things, and then we can get started. I do want to remind everyone that we are having another webinar on Test Data Manager that will be presented on June 4th. That one is going to be our new feature called Dave, and the whole webinar is going to be around Dave and its capabilities. I'm going to put that in the chat during the presentation, the registration, so that you can register for that. Just wanted to make sure everyone knew that this presentation is going to be, of course, recorded, and it will be made available on our Broadcom DevOps YouTube channel. So I will also be putting a link to the YouTube channel in the chat. So look for that right during the presentation. So with that, I am going to turn it over to Abhijit.
Thank you, Pam. Good morning, good afternoon, or evening, depending upon the part of the world you're joining in from. My name is Abhijit Magali, and I'm the product manager for TDM. And on behalf of the entire Test Data Manager product team, I would like to welcome you all to the What's New in TDM 5.0 webinar. So we have a packed agenda for today. I'll be kicking off with a quick introduction of the marquee features. My colleague Madhu will be talking about the data assistant and our enterprise config management feature. Sham is going to talk about the database virtualization. And finally, Daman is going to cover the file masking and our Parquet platform support. Test Data Manager 5.0 is one of the biggest releases in the last few years, and we have a ton of functionality delivered as part of this release. Starting with Data Assistant. Several of our customers, driven by privacy concerns, have been adopting synthetic data generation. However, one of the biggest bottlenecks in the whole process is the configuration of the synthetic data generation rules. Data Assistant automates this tedious process of populating synthetic data generation rules. It uses a heuristic model that looks at the data relationships, the types, as well as PII tags to automatically select appropriate synthetic data generation functions. With Data Assistant, our customers can see a reduction of over 90% in the effort needed to configure synthetic data generation functions. Enterprise configuration management allows you to import and export synthetic data generation objects. This can be done both at a macro project level and at a granular rule or a configuration level. With this, you can now share your synthetic data generation rules with internal teams to promote reuse, or support configuration lifecycle management by moving rules from your dev to pre-prod to your production TDM instance. Database Virtualization Engine, as we acronym it as DAVE, is our next generation database virtualization offering. This allows you to provision multiple independent test data environments. This significantly reduces your barriers to provisioning of the test data environments and also accelerates testing of large data lakes as well as Gen AI models with diverse data sets. We are releasing the version 1 with 5.0 with support for Oracle, DB2, and MongoDB. However, this will be followed shortly with other platforms. Adaptive subset. Adaptive subset simplifies the provisioning of referentially intact slice of production data. Internally, adaptive subset uses k-means clustering to cluster data into clusters which have characteristics defined by the key columns. With this, you get superior performance in subset without the complexity of writing join conditions. We continue our platform support with the extended support for Apache Parquet and native Hadoop Hive environments. And last but not the least, we have the portal masking, which now includes support for native JSON and XML formats. Although these were like the top 6 marquee features, we are happy to say that we have delivered over 80 plus targeted enhancements that support your projects. With this, I'll hand over the control to my colleague Madhu, who will talk about the data assistant and the enterprise configuration management. Madhu, over to you.
I did not get it yet. Yes. Okay.
So,
yeah. Thank you, Abhijit. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. So let's talk about the data assistant and enterprise configuration management features. So starting with data assistant, we are all familiar with generators, like we give rules to the columns and then publish data to those tables. This is okay when we have 1 or 2 tables, but when the number of tables increases, like let's say you have hundreds of tables, and then each table has hundreds of columns, giving rule to each and every column for these tables and then publishing the data becomes a tedious job. So for this, we have this data assistant feature. So let me explain that feature to you through a demo. So let's quickly jump in. So here we can see the data assistant page in the portal. So here you have a button to enable data assistant. Like if you want to use data assistant, just enable this checkbox. And to generate rules to help us with that, we have data assistant templates. These are of 2 types, global and project. So global templates are available for all the projects, whereas project templates are specific for the particular project. TDM by default provides 4 default templates, that is the standard rules default, tag rules, cloning, and crawler templates. And rule types are of 4 types, DB type, tag, clone, and crawler. So let's try to understand what these templates are. So let's see the standard rules template first. So as you can see in this template, you have the data type column and the rule column. So now what happens in data assistant is when you take a table and then you have different columns, data assistant will go to each and every column and try to find out the data type of that particular column, and then comes here, tries to find that data type, and then maps the corresponding rule to it. So let's say example, you have a numeric primary key column, it comes here, it finds it, and it maps the next variable to it. Likewise, if you have a mandatory character column, it will map the rand text rule to it. Here you can see there are some placeholders like max len, max num. So max len is the maximum length allowed for that particular data type. And then you have parent, which we use in foreign key, primary key relationship. So here it will point to the parent for this particular foreign key. So, and like this, we have different types of data types and their corresponding rules. And now let's see tag type. So that one, I have a specific project template which I'll be using in the demo. So let me just show you that template. So here in tag templates, like for all the columns, you give some tags to those columns, and then you come to this template, it'll try to find the tag, and then it'll map the corresponding rule to it. So here you can see I've used a variable. So one thing to note here is that you need to create these variables beforehand before using this data assistant template. Data assistant will not create these variables for you. So like that, we have here different tags and different rules corresponding to those data types. So let's quickly see an example for it. So here I've registered suppliers table. You can see there's a heat map button here. So how to assign tags to these columns. So for that, go to this heat map page. You have your tables that you have registered, and here you can give the tags. So now how do we assign rules to these tags? There are 3 scenarios. The first one, you have supplier name. Here I have one tag, name tag. So what it does is it will go to the tag template, try to find this tag, and when it matches it, it'll apply the corresponding rule to it. So as the name tag is there, it'll go and it'll take the rule and apply the corresponding rule. But coming to this email example, you have my email here. This is your primary tag, so it first comes here. It tries to check if my email tag is present in your tag template or no. But we don't have that tag. So now what to do? So now it goes to the next tag, that's the secondary tag, and it'll try to find this tag in the template. So email address, it finds in the template and it will use the corresponding rule. Now the final scenario, you have the supplier status, you have my stat tag. Now this tag is not present in our template, and also there are no other tags. So in this case, it will fall back to your standard rules template. Like what would it do for this particular data type? Now let's say this is a mandatory character column. So what would our standard rules template provide the rule for a mandatory character column? It will do exactly that. So let's go and create a generator. So let's give, and here you can see we have a button build with data assistant. So if you want to create a normal generator, we directly click on save. But if you want to use data assistant, we click on build with data assistant. So now here you select what table you want to use and then click on next. Here we select the template that we want to use. So I want to use standard rules template here. And then when you go to next page, here you have an option to choose the tag template. So click here, and this is the template which I want to use, my project level template, and click on next. So here, if you click on your table, right side, you can see what are the columns present in the table and what are the tags. So now let's click on save. So it's generating rules for us. So now here you can see our supplier name. It was the direct scenario where it could find the tag in the template and it assigned that rule. This is a variable that we were talking about. And next in the email one, it did not find the my email tag. So it went to next email address tag and it found that tag and it gave the corresponding rule. Coming to the last one, the supplier status, it did not find the tag in our template. So it went to standard rules template and it found that, okay, for a mandatory character column, what is the rule that I need to provide? And it took the ran text rule. And after this, it's the normal publish that we do. Just click on publish and you can publish the data. So this was about the tags. And now coming to clone and crawler. So the concept here is if you want to copy data from your source to target database, then you use clone and crawler. So for this, let me just switch my project and show you a quick example of what are the different things involved in clone. So here I've already registered few tables. Now let's click on create generator and we'll do a clone test. So click on build with data assistant. So now here, let's pause for a while and try to understand these different toggle buttons present here. So you have include related tables and limited levels whose default value is 3. So now when the number of tables increases where you want to publish data to, there are different tables that are related to each other. They kind of form clusters. Cluster in the sense there's one cluster where you have tables related to each other, then there's another cluster where you have other set of tables related to each other. Now when these numbers keep increasing, the clusters keep increasing, even if you miss one table, the clone goes wrong. So now to avoid that, what we have done is we have introduced this include related tables button. So even if you select one table, it will automatically calculate what are the other tables that are related to this table, and it takes into consideration all these tables. So here if you see, I have table 1, table 2, 3, 4, and 5. These tables are such that table 1 is parent of table 2, 2 of 3, 3 of 4, and 4 of 5. So now I've selected only one table. I'm clicking on next, and let's select the cloning template that we want to use, and then just click on next. I don't want to use any tag templates. So now here, even though I selected only one table, it has calculated that what are the other tables that are related to this particular table, and it has displayed here. And if you remember the limited levels, by default, it was selected as 3. So that means it will only expand by default to 3 levels. If I want to see the further tables, I need to manually expand it. So if I expand, I can see that there's table 5. But now here, one more thing is for limited levels, it will, what you see is what you get. So only for the tables that are displayed, it will populate the rules. So now if I'm not expanding table 5, and let's click on save. So now even though I had my table 5, but because I did not expand it, it did not populate rules for that. So now we have understood what are the different toggle buttons. Now let's see how actually clone works. So now build with data assistant. This time I'll select the addresses table, and let's go to next. Again, we'll select the cloning template. So here, one more thing. We have xref and xlookup. So these are used when you have primary key and foreign key relationship. So let's say your source database, it had a table where the primary key values are 1, 2, and 3. And now when you want to publish it as 10, 11, and 12. So what this xref does is it will maintain a map where it will map what is the source value and what is the target value, what it is being mapped to. So 1 is mapped to 10, 2 is mapped to 11, 3 is mapped to 12. So it will make a note of that. So now when you want to publish the foreign key, it'll come here, and this xlookup will look into the map and it'll identify, okay, 1 is mapped to 10. So I need to publish 10 instead of 1. And like this, you can maintain the primary key foreign key relationships. Let's click on next. Okay, here again, it has identified the other tables that are related to the addresses table. Let's try to understand how these tables are related to each other. So if we see persons and addresses, you can see this is the foreign key and this is the primary key, that is addresses is parent of persons. And then you have here addresses, which is also parent of orders. You have order items, which is the child of orders, nothing but orders, parent of order items. And you have here persons, which is parent of orders. So to summarize the hierarchy, it has order items as the child of orders, orders as the child of persons, and addresses is the parent of both persons and orders. So now here I'll be selecting orders as my driving table. Now what is a driving table? When we want to publish, we need to start somewhere. So our publish starts from this particular driving table. And here you can give a where condition. You also have a data painter view where if you want to use any rules for the data painter for the where clause, you can use. So for now, I'm using where clause as orders dot my order total. I want it to be less than 100. So now if you see left side, it has re-rendered the hierarchy because I've made orders as the driving table. It became the driving table, it came on the top, and then the hierarchy is re-rendered. So this is one way of defining the driving table. Also, you can just click on these 3 dots and select the set driving table. So again, you can see it is re-rendered. So let's go back to our orders table being the driving table, our where clause, and then you can view the sample. So this shows the order items whose order total is less than 100. So here you have those columns, and let's click on save. So now it has generated the rules. So here what we need to understand is clone, it employs the mechanism of using SEQLOV meta functions and inner joins. So now here, if you see, let's look at this rule. Here you have your where clause. It's a simple select query with your where clause. And now close. And now let's see persons. So here you're having your select query where clause. You have also the inner join. So now as and when the depth keeps increasing, these queries will become bigger and bigger because this clone, it depends on the whole path till the driving table. So now if you see addresses, you will have inner joins, unions, and intersects. also the number of as the number of tables increases, the query becomes bigger, it gets complicated. So now let's click on publish and let's select our schema and click on publish. So our clone is completed. So let's go to the database and see what exactly happened. So first, my order items table, let's see what came here. So we have these order IDs present here, and then let's go to orders. So as orders was the parent of order items, so you will see that the relationship is maintained. Order items, these were the order items and order ID. And here, if you see, you have the customer ID. This is nothing but this was a foreign key and persons was the primary key. So now if we go to persons, the data will be populated, putting that relationship in consideration. So now you have these as the person IDs. And now for address, the person ID table, it has primary addresses as so and so, and orders has these particular address IDs. So now the addresses table will have a combination of both of these addresses because it's parent of both persons and orders. So it'll have a combination of both of these addresses. So here you can see our clone is now complete. So now next, let's talk about the enterprise configuration management. So as Abhijit has said, whenever you want to reuse your configuration, so now you have many tables and many generators, and now instead of again doing everything from scratch, that is you register the object, give the rules to the columns again, and then publish. So instead of doing this whole complete thing, we have introduced the export and import buttons. So in a single click, your whole configuration is copied. So let's see an example for that quickly. So we come here, I have a generator, I have an object registered, this is my generator, and I have the rules. Okay, so now what I'll do is let me export the button. So how are we going to export is just click on this generator, you have this export button and you can export the generator. So now let's go to another project which does not have any object. So we come to this import project. So as you can see, there's no generator, there's no object, it's fresh. So now we will be importing the generator here, the exported generator. And let's see. So click on open and click on import. So here, even though you do not have any object or anything, you have the object now, you have the, okay, I think I've imported in the wrong place. Let's just go, let's delete. We'll go to the generators. Export generators. So here it gives an option where you can select what are the generators that you want to import, like if you have exported multiple generators. So here, because I've exported only one, it shows only one, and then click on import. So here it has imported the generator, the object, and now when you click on select objects, so you have your rules here. Here also you have these export and import buttons where you can export and import these generator definitions. And then on the publish page also you have export and import. So what also you can do is you're exporting this publish configurations, you can edit it and then import it again. So now let's say I want to change the table count to 2 and just save this file and now import it. So now the change is reflected. Now the table count is 2. So let's try to publish it. Sorry, this one, orders E and orders E. And then we click on publish. So now publish is done. So for this, let's go to the database here, refresh. So we have generated 2 rules. So in the interest of time, I've just shown the granular level export and import. We also have a project level export and import. For that, you can go to the configuration deployment page and export and import. Also, one last thing that I want to mention is, in cloning and crawling, we also create, the data assistant creates some variables. So if you go here, there are some variables created, that is the data source. So this will This means the connection profile that we are using for our data assistant, this generation part. And also if you have used the encrypt options, then you have encrypt options related variables. So the data assistant creates these variables for you. So yes, thank you. That's it. And now I'll just pass it over to Shyam. Yes, over to you, Shyam.
Yep. Thank you, Madhu. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the next demonstration of TDM Dave, the data visualization engine. I'm Shyamashi Chakravarti from the TDM team, and I'm excited to show how we are revolutionizing database testing and provisioning. Over the 15 minutes, we will walk through a complete workflow from connecting to your database. Database. Currently, we'll use the Oracle database for this demonstration, and we'll see how we are doing the storage infrastructure and the other things. But before starting that, I would like to start with a question. For example, how many of you have waited long hours, even like days, for a database copy? As a end user, for example, we have many database, and uh, uh, the testers or the developers wants to test something from the production database. So it won't be possible to test the production database. So they want database, and it would be good if they have their own database so that they can test their own features accordingly. So for that, let's start with the signing part. This is the self-service catalog. So for example, the admins can show the snapshots here to the tester what they want to show, and the tester can see something like this. So each tester based on their features. So in this story, we have like two characters: the admin, who can access to the production environment, and he is aware of the production connections and all these things. The second actor is the MC Bob. He is one of the tester who wants to test his feature, and he wants some database to test that one. Let's see how it will be like easy for him to get a Oracle database, which is like in GBs, and in a quick short period of time. So as a admin will provide the snapshot to the test user, and the test user can see the same snapshot to his environment. If you see here, they don't have much access. I mean, the tester don't have the much access, but now they can create the clone, that one. It would be good to give a good name here. For example, I'm a tester, so I would like to test the data model, for an example. So what we can do, I have to do this is Oracle instance, and I need to do, this is for model. My name is MC Bob, and this is my first database. And yeah, this is prod one, for example, the name of the database. It would be good to give some the pod name. We'll have the this is like same, you can use any other name, and then we have to just click on this create. Within a few minutes or even a second, the user will see the database. The one thing is very important here is we can see the steps. So we are not blocking, the TDM will not block the request. Meanwhile, tester can do anything in the test data manager. They can do like any other operation, and they can follow the steps here. So here they can see, okay, the validation is started, the cloning of database also started, and then he will shortly get the database. So let me quickly refresh this one. It's still in progress. Now it's completed. Now let's go back, refresh it. It's completed. Now we have everything. So you can now let's go to my clone. Here we have the clone page, all the connection database details, and also let me quickly go to the details page here, where they will get the more like information, and user can use this in their connection profile. So Let me copy this one. Let me open another tab. So they can use for different product. In my case, let me show in the same taste data manager how we can use this one for our application. So MC Bob wants to taste that one for the wants a database for the model. I mean database modeling. So let's do the same here. I am a MC Bob user. This is my credential. And let's jump to the for that I need the connection profile because sorry, I need a connection profile, and let's do this connection what we just received. So this is the host name. Okay, so I need to do this is Oracle. This is for modeling feature, and this is for my first feature. And okay, maybe you can write okay, and this is my first version as well, whatever we want. And this is Oracle database. Let me quickly select the Oracle one, and the server name is server here. The port, let's copy from here. The port is this one. And the service name is nothing but what we have like given in that while creating the clone, we added that one. So let's have the same name here is the pod name what we have given there, and the username and password. Username is this one, and the password is hidden. So if you want, you can see here, but it's just copy that one as it is. And let's test this one whether we have the connectivity. Oh, let me test again. Okay, so everything is fine. Let's save. So we have this modeling thing, and let's use this in the modeling. So as a user, I will create the anything like let's Oracle env ds1, and we just created this one. So let's do this one, and let me quickly to show how. And if we do this one, and we can see that we will get the values from that Oracle clone what we have created. So within few, if you see, I just use like less than 5 minutes, and within 5 minutes I can start my testing. I can start my work without waiting for any other DBA guys or any other technical guys for the database. So this is like the amazing things. And now as an admin, how can I get this snapshot? I think you have that question in your mind. Okay, this is very interesting thing, the snapshot. But as a user or as an admin, how can I get this from the Dave application what we have created? So for that, let me jump to the Dave functionality, how we can generate this self-service catalog. For that, we have this feature. The admin can have access this one, and that this the like first thing. And before that, the admin should need to configure the connection, I mean connection profiles of the production database. So here we added many connection profiles. We can copy, we can do like edit anything, and also we have multiple validation in this layer. Like if we do some mistake here, we have the test button here with proper username and password. If you do something wrong, we will get the error message directly here. So we have a perfect validations here. Apart from that, actually we prepared this page so that any functional user or any DBA can handle these entries. Like we don't need any technical guys for the database connections, all these things. So this is about the connection profile. Once we have the connection profiles, then we need some storage to store the production data. For that reason, we have this ZFS server. The configuration of ZFS server is very simple. We just need to add some agent name here, the IP address where we have the ZFS server. Let me quickly show in the setup. So for example, in this case, this is my database. It is in one of the like machine, in one of the like VM or any environment. This is my I mean GFS. This is my GFS agent what I'm going to configure. So before configuring, just add the username and password. Once we have some name, for example, let me give some valid name, agent. Maybe I will give some better name, agent .com. This is coming in some name, and this is some host name or some IP address name. So for now I can use any name, and then we'll see the details. Okay, my bad. Okay, let me use this one. So then once you give this information, you will get this page, and you have to copy this unique generated key. This, why we need this unique generated key? This is a ZFS server. So ZFS server have like we use the ZFS server, and it has like different pools. We can use its different pools and different data sets. We can copy there. So that's why this unique key will generate based on the login user. In this case, it's an administrator, and the agent. So it's a combination of that one, and then it's a unique one. But if you see, there is no green tick here, but here we have the green tick. So it means the connection is not valid. If I added some random address here, so if the connection is correct, you'll see a green tick here. And like once you have like done with this part, then go here, and you have to start your agent with that unique generated key. So for example, this is the unique generated key, you can see here. So how we can generate that one? So for that, we have the readme files, or you can follow the dev documentation. So it's like we have this page. I can quickly jump here. So these are like the basic setups, and then we have this register the agent. In the register agent, you have to give like the name what you have given in the UI, the registration key what you received after hitting that submit button, and the IP address where we have the agent, and this IP address where we have the TDM web. So once you have give all these details, then we'll see the agent like this one, and you can and then we'll have all the information related to that device. For example, how many storage it has and how many it used already. So we can see everything related to that pool. But suppose you have multiple like you want to add multiple pools in this one, so you can go there, and we can, based on the available devices, we can add pools here. Once we have the pools, so this is nothing but this is JFS agent, which will create a bridge between the JFS server and the dev service. So now once we have the JFS server linked with the with the dev, now what we have to do, we have to link our production environment, and we have to tell our the dev service, okay, we have this production environment, let's have that one, let's have a copy of that one in our JFS server. For that, we have very exciting platform called base image. Base image will create a base of that production environment into the JFS server. Here the configuration is very simple. We already configured the clone, so you have to the database configuration what we have. And one thing I forget to mention, currently we are supporting 3 different type of databases: Oracle, DB2, and Mongo. In Oracle also we supported many other subcategories, like we are supporting RMAN, NFS, clone. So you direct connection. So direct connection, you can select this one. The database, the backup for we have the RMAN, clone, and the NFS also. We can support all these type, but primarily we are supporting Oracle, DB2, and MongoDB till now, and in next phase we will have many more in upcoming releases. So once we have the base image, now you have to click here, you have to select the any database what you want, and then the agent. So it will create a link. Like, this is a very exciting platform because it will communicate to the Oracle technologies. For example, the clone for direct connection, or RMAN, different technologies of Oracle, and it will also communicate with the different technologies of the JFS server. So once we have, you can give any good name. Okay, this is my here I use the clone technologies, and this is for my production 02. So once you have this one, then you can use multiple compression. This is one of the one of the feature of why we use ZFS. You can use anything. LZ4 is very good. Like, it will use very low overheads and give good compression. It's also used in the very good in during duplications, and that's it. And it will take a few minutes. So this is the only place it will take a little bit more time. I would say for Oracle, we will see like for like few like 100 GBs, it will take 10 to 15 minutes. But once we have that one, then everything will be in fraction of minutes or few seconds. So once we click that one, then it will not block us. Everything will go asynchronously. It will generate the job. We can see in the submit job, we can see the steps there, everything. So you have to select the div. You can see it's running. You can see the steps here. Let's finish this one. Meanwhile, I will go to the next step. Once you have the base image, it will take few times. Maybe I can show the I mean how much time it is generally taking. So here, and let me go to the div. And generally it is taking around 11 minutes for around 100 like more than 100 GBs of data. And then here okay, it is taking some time. And then let me go to the base image. Once we have the base image, you have to just click there, and then we have to create the snapshot. This is the same snapshot what we saw here in the first page. So maybe we can create another one with better name. This snapshot, okay, this is Oracle, this is prod snapshot, and this is specific for maybe PI scan, PI audit, and this is for tester. You can give any better name. And okay, so this is Oracle 21 in our case, prod PON, and this is for tester. So you can we can give. So, and one more thing, like important thing, is the visible for tester. If we want to show this to the tester, then we have to enable, and or else we can disable, and we can snapshot. We can create this snapshot for now. This is the project level. If you want to show only to the specific project, we can show that one. And if you want for the global one, we can save that one. So once we have this one, then it will take hardly few seconds, and you'll see the same. And let me quickly refresh this one. So see how fast it is, and now we can see the self-service catalog, and the tester can pick from here. Like they can create their own database, and they can do the I mean the features accordingly. And yeah, from here also we can create the clone. Clone creation is like from the base image, they have to select this one, and there is a small button in the end. We have to just click there with some good name. We can create the clone accordingly. So this is like more about the div, how we can generate the database, how we can provisioning the database so quickly, and how a tester can use that in a few minutes. Yep, in time. Okay, that's more about the dev things, and yeah, more details are there in our tech docs, and the architecture and all these things. And let me quickly jump to the slide of the architecture. So the dev is encapsulated inside the TDM, Test Data Manager platform, and it's not exposed to like direct exposed to the external world. Currently, we are supporting the Kubernetes clusters, the Docker Swarm, and in Kubernetes, like Kubernetes cluster, you can consider this dev as like two parts. One is the storage, where GFS server is handling, and one is the computing part, where we saw that dev and the GFS server or GFS agent, which is handling these two things. Yeah, that's all about the dev part. Let me let's move to the next presentation, and let me give access to Daman.
Okay, thank you. Let me see if I can share my screen. Screen 3. Okay. Can you confirm that you can see my screen, Sham?
Yes, Daman.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thanks everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. So my name is Daman. I would like to go straight to the demo to showcase the support for file masking through the portal. So for this demo, I will start by showing you the masking of CSV files. So for that, we need to start by creating a connection profile. Then we'll be able to create an environment based on the connection profile, followed by model scan to store the metadata for the files, and then the PII scan so that we can tag each column, appropriate column, with a specific tag, so that we can do the masking. So now I'm going to create oops, sorry for that. That was not expected. Okay, for that I'm going to create a connection profile for CSV files. I have a set of files that I want to mask. For CSV, the connection profile needs to include can include a set of CSV files, but they should all be with the same format. We can't mix and match different types of CSVs. For that, you need to create a different connection profile for different CSV formats. So as you can see, I have 6 files that I just uploaded. For CSV, we need to create or upload a file definition. So the file definition allows the user to be able to set the column names as well as the data types. So let me create a file definition. For that, we have different types, so comma separated, tab, or special characters. So in my case, it is a comma separated CSV. Let me pass one of the files. So that will give me the data that is stored within the file. So this is the header. The header related to the column names, as well as the data that is stored in the file. And also, it's important to highlight that I defined the header line as 1, which is the top line in the CSV. So for this particular case, I can see that, for example, the quantity is a numeric, so I can change it to numeric, as well as unit price, and all the date is obviously date. As you can see, the format of the date. So for that, I will set it to date, and that's how we define the definition, the file definition. Now, once it's done, we are able to save it and then create, like I said, an environment. For that, I'll go to create an environment, and let's say called CSV files, and the S1, the connection profile was CSV files. So that creating the environment allows us to scan the files so that we can store the metadata into TDM. So that will take let's say a few seconds, because the files are about 44K each, so they are not very large. So once the model scan is completed, we can do the PII scan. And for that, I'm going to select a few of these as classifiers, so that I'll just take the default settings and then do the scan. So once the scan is completed, then we will be able to review each one in terms of we can investigate and decide if the tagging is correct. So I'm going to remove the surname against the product name, and sorry for that, that's the wrong one. But and then I can add some some tags if I need to. Okay, not in this. Let's say this one. I will add a product name. Product. Okay, so now I can confirm, and I can do the same thing for confirm for now, all the rest. Okay, speed up the process. Now, once the PII, so scan and investigation is completed, I can go to the masking, and I will be able to check through the configuration, masking configuration, what needs to be done. So, for example, I don't want to mask number 4, this file, so I can just set it to not mask in both cases, and then I go next. So number 4 will not be masked in this particular scenario, and I can just carry on and go next. That will give me the option to mask, and I can confirm that. So once the masking is complete, then we should be able to review the. Okay, now it's completed, and I will be able to download the files and investigate or download the masked files so that I have possession of such files, as you can see here, where I have excluded number 4 in the list, in the masking. Okay, so this is for CSV masking. Quickly, I'll show you about data generation with complex files, which is JSON, XML, but also we have data generation with Parquet. We supported Parquet files. So let me start with the registering a Parquet file to showcase data generation for Parquet. So here that I can select and then find a file that I can register. So okay, I've got a file here that I can register called customer profiles, and then we'll be able to create a generator so that I will be able to. So here, Parquet files are sort of like, they are similar to a relational database, yeah, in a file format. So because of that, we will be using DB type general. We have 2 different types, general and NoSQL. So for relational database or relational format, it will be general. For complex files or NoSQL databases, we use NoSQL. So in this case, we created a generator. Let me select the Parquet file that we just. So here I'm going to use sort of some functions. Okay, that will be able. Okay, that I'm able to add here. So I'm going to use next so that it gives me values 1 to up to whatever repeat count I'm going to use in the publish. And the name I'm going to use a seed list for first names. So I'm just pasting these different meta functions. For age, I'm going to use run range, which gives me values between 10 and 90. And then for gender, I'm going to use female or male. So there is a random generator for that. And then for cities, I will use run-LOV again. And let's see that. Okay, and the one thing about the first name, what I did is that if I use data painter, you can see the first parameter is 25. It means that it will generate 25% null values, and the rest will be picked up from the seed list, first name seed list. So let's insert that and let's publish. For here, we will be publishing as a Parquet file. So, and I want to use 10 rows. So the repeat count is 10. So let's do the publish. And that will provide me with the, yeah, it's completed. And then I'll be able to download the file. And okay. And this file is here, so I can move it away, and I use a Parquet viewer so that I can show you the data that was generated. As you can see, it starts with from 1 to 10 because we used next, and the names there are, like I said, there was about 25% null values, and the rest taken from the seed list, and the rest, as you can see. So that concludes the support for both showcasing the file masking and data generation for Parquet, and that's will be moving to questions at this stage. So let's go to questions now. So yeah. Forum is open for questions.
And as a reminder, I am going to unmute all of you guys so that you can ask your questions directly. But I have seen a few questions come through already in the panel. One of them is, does database and virtualization engine work with OpenShift?
Yeah, if I might answer the question, yes, like what Sham showcased, database virtualization, short for Dave, is supported for Kubernetes, but also for OpenShift. So we have that supported.
Okay, great. We'll wait just a minute. Again, you guys can come off mute yourselves and ask questions if you'd like. Actually, I do see another question in the panel while we're waiting. Can we do subsetting of data in the portal?
Yep. As Madhu highlighted in her presentation, when she did the cloning, it is possible to specify a where condition in the driving table that allows the subsetting to be implemented, so that the data from the source will be subsetted in fly, and then when inserted into the target database, it will be subsetted.
Okay. I do have a question that just came in. It actually says, hello, right? I want to learn Dave mainframe support. This is kind of more of a comment.
Yeah, TDM you know, a tool that allows lots of our customers using using mainframe to do the same as we do on Windows. So we do support masking and data generation in the mainframe. So it is the tool is installed on the mainframe, and everything is on the mainframe to do all the tasks required for masking and subsetting and data generation.
All right. Let's see. Let me check the panel again. Yeah, actually, we do have another question. Does Dave support SQL Server?
Maybe I'll take that.
Yep.
So we are expanding the support for the list of databases for Dave. Yes, SQL Server is on our radar, and probably it should be out in the second half of the year. That's the target.
All right. I'm not seeing any more questions in the panel. Making sure to give people the opportunity. We'll wait just one more minute, give you guys an opportunity to come off mute if you do have any other questions for us. Okay. All right. Well, I think with that, Abhijit and team, we can wrap it up. And thank you for the great presentation, and thanks to everyone who joined today. Again, the recording will be on our YouTube channel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.